My name's Steve Berg. My sobriety date is 06/21/14/2021. So June 14th, 2021. And I've been at PluggedIn. I opened this house, the Kenneth house, when Wade first bought it a year ago. And I stayed here a year, moved out, worked in treatment for about 3 months. Decided to move back. So I've been back here about a little over a month now and managing this house again. So, well, I had been sober a little over a year. I was staying over at a sober living called Mandalay Village over in Phoenix, and a friend of mine posted on Facebook to me. He had sent me an ad about sober living in Chandler, and I thought it was just another sober living. And I said, "Oh, that's a nice house, you know." And he goes, "Yeah, they're asking for management." So he said, "I thought it would be good for you to put in, a message to the owner and let him know you're interested." Not thinking anything of it, I went ahead and did it anyway. And Wade got back to me and asked me if I could manage the house. And him and I talked about my previous experience in managing houses, which I had in California, a couple houses. And he was very interested, told me he'd get back to me the following week, but got back to me a lot sooner, and had to make some changes. And it's just been a blessing ever since, man. It's been a fun, wonderful ride. Like I said, we have our ups and downs, but more ups than downs. And yeah, man, just never know what's going to happen. But for the most part, it's just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. It's been great, man. A lot of faces come and go, but for the most part, the guys that stick are still doing the thing. They get plugged in here, and they get themselves a sponsor. They get themselves some direction, follow some suggestion, work some steps, get service commitments and home group. And next thing you know, their lives are changing. And I get to be a part of that. And for me, that's the most enjoyable part about being a manager. Just watching the guys, helping them, trying to be of maximum service to them. We do a lot of activities together. We go to meetings together. Every now and then PluggedIn puts together a little bowling trip or something like that. So I haven't been able to go on those. My journey's been a little different. Ran into some trouble along the way, a broken femur and a shattered hip last year about this time. And so it kind of set me back for a minute, but PluggedIn was very supportive and covered my manager position until I could get back in the house. I love running the houses. Couldn't ask for a better group of guys. I couldn't ask for a better support group through PluggedIn and Wade Sr. and of course you, Eric. You guys help out whenever you can and are always right there at the drop of a dime in case we need anything. So, first and foremost, sobriety and physical sobriety has to come first. And I stress that enough on the guys that, if you're down to one meeting a week, don't cut back. Meetings are important, but staying sober is twice as important. You stay sober, everything else will fall into place. And me, as well as some of the guys, we do our chores around here. So we slack sometimes, and we have a tendency to get relaxed. And I, without getting too mad and upset, I just kind of ask if they can, clean up after themselves, or make sure I check in on them every day. I make sure I do, and I talk to all the guys at least one-on-one every day. And see where their heads are at, and their attitude. And if I see any kind of change or behavior, it kind of sets up a red flag for me, and I just kind of keep an eye out, And for the most part, the guys are doing what they need to do. They have their routines, go to work, go to meetings, do their chores, eat their food, and they're real good about making their beds. They're real good about keeping the house clean. So I can overlook that as long as they're staying sober. If they don't pick up something one day, I can overlook it. But it doesn't mean it doesn't get me mad. So, by all means, it's held me accountable. Just like we try and hold the guys accountable for doing meetings. I have to do meetings as well, do a chore as well, and be an example to these guys that, you know, I have to stay sober just as much as they do. You know, you know, I don't have any more time today than they do. We all only have 24 hours. And, you know, I try and hold myself to a little higher standard as far as accountability. I want to be an example to the guys and the fellas and show them that it can be done, you know, and it gets better. You know, life gets lifey sometimes, and you know, we deal with that. The best way we know how is, you know, if I don't know how, I call my sponsor, or I'll call a friend in recovery, and you know, get the answers I need that way, or I'll talk to the fellas here. You know, we're good about that. We're good about keeping an open communication, and I believe that's key here. The guys are really good about communicating when they're going to take an overnight, when they're going to be back late from work, you know, at past curfew. They call me, they text me, they let me know beforehand. And, you know, those kind of things make this house solid. Yeah, man, I don't really do much. The guys do everything, you know. I try and give them as much leniency and as they need, you know, and without hanging themselves. But you know, they do what they need to do, and I couldn't ask for a better group of guys. Yeah, if you do move into sober living, man, commit to at least a 90-day, 6 months to a year. You know, I like to, my sponsor tells me, you know, when I do something, commit for a year. And that's what I'm doing again this time around. You know, I was gone for 3 months, so I just got back a month, so I got another 11 months to go, and I look forward to it, you know. And so that's a commitment I have to myself, to my sponsor, for accountability. And yeah, that's the only thing I suggest to these guys. Don't leave before the miracle happens. You know, don't be in a rush to get out and get your own place, and you know, do this and get a little foundation, a little backbone, you know, and a little structure and a little accountability in your life before you make any sudden movements. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's not bad. It could be worse, you know. And this is a pretty darn good house. I mean, the plugged-in recovery houses, top notch, you know, unbelievable. I'm totally blessed to be here. One thing I'm totally grateful for today is, you know, being able to have my family back. You know, that's through the whole process of recovery, through Plugged In, holding me accountable, working steps. I'm grateful for Plugged In Recovery for allowing me to grow in my recovery, so that my life has turned full circle, and I'm starting to get the relationships that I had lost through my addiction and alcoholism back today. And you know, I couldn't ask for anything more than that. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm sure not where I used to be, and for that I'm grateful.